I'm an instructional developer here at the University of Alabama. That means I help faculty and other people in the university community create multimedia projects. Our involvement with autism happened because we happen to have a child with autism. And as we were going along trying to find treatments and therapies and programs for our son, we weren't having much success with that. And autism does not know racial or economic boundaries, so it affects everybody equally, and that's an area where people need help. And we count on the community to provide that help, and we have to.
I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Advertising and Public Relations at the University of Alabama, and on the side, I'm a volunteer with the American Red Cross. With the American Red Cross, I'm a National Public Affairs volunteer, which means that I am trained to deploy to any disasters within the continental U.S. I've been able to deploy to the Fargo, North Dakota spring floods. I also deployed to the Arkansas campground flash flood. So my training has given me some incredible experiences being able to help people in other communities around the country, and I felt very blessed that I was able to use my training to help people in my own backyard as well.
Good morning. It's April 27th, 2011. A developing story today is that of the weather. Might get a little nasty out there, so make sure you got it tuned in right here.
Well, April 27th was unusual in a lot of ways, but first of all, the fact that the weather people had been saying for several days that that particular day was going to be bad. It got rather interesting as I was watching the weatherman say that there was a tornado headed right toward downtown Tuscaloosa. Well, it was coming right for us, and that's about the time the power went out.
We're watching an emergency situation for a very large tornado coming into downtown Tuscaloosa. That includes the University of Alabama campus. This could be a very life-threatening situation.
We weren't at home, thankfully. That was a true blessing. But what made it more interesting in a not so good way was that we couldn't get to the house. We had to park about a mile away and walk in through an area that looked like an atomic bomb had gone off.
The first 24 hours, my training just kicked in and I went and did what I was supposed to do with the Red Cross. But meanwhile, I had damage in my own home, and I had, friends and neighbors that were trying to take care of their homes, and we had loss of life in the university community. It ended up being an incredibly emotional experience.
The thought is we're standing there, we're looking at our house, we're seeing, I never counted how many trees, and as we're standing there looking at the house, I remember thinking, I can't do this. I am going to need some massive help to get even the driveway cleared. And that was, that was a pretty strong just realization that, hey, we're all connected and we need that help from other people. And thankfully it came. We're standing there looking at the house, and this squad of guys, they come walking on the street, they're all carrying chainsaws. And a guy says, hey, would you mind if we started sawing up these trees? And I'm going, would I mind? No, you knock yourselves out. This is great. That was just amazing and very, very touching. And it just a very strong reminder to me of how connected we all are.
I've been a United Way supporter for years, but it wasn't until this disaster hit when the Red Cross lost their offices, the Salvation Army lost their buildings. That's when I was able to see what the United Way could do to provide some resources and provide support so that all of the organizations could function and be able to do the best they could to help.
The giant team effort that had to come together to get people to come to our neighborhood and our town to help clean up the debris is just a wonderful thing. It just brought it all home to me.
Seeing how the resources of the United Way helped all of these organizations respond to this tornado really brought home to me just how important and how vital the United Way is in our community. I'm Suzanne Horsley, and I support the United Way.
My name's Rick Dowling, and I support the United Way.